IPMNation.com.
Previously on Angry Drunk Tales.
Don't you ever do that again. No more drinking.
You tell me.
There's nothing to tell.
Be angry.
Guess you're just gonna have to learn to live with it.
I'll do anything I want to.
Not anymore.
Me write angry emails.
Stranger things have happened.
Not to me, they haven't.
Episode 34. Sorry you couldn't get any dick.
Me still angry. Me continue to write long, rambling, drunken emails. Me continue to be angry over incident several weeks ago. Me have emotional intelligence of 5-year-old child. Me bitter and frustrated with myself over being drunken 300-pound tub of shit. Me undiagnosed paranoid schizophrenic. Me
My mother's old douchebag.
Me write angry emails. Me hate everyone.
Welcome back to another exciting edition of Angry Drunk Tales. Matt Connerton.
And I'm drinking coffee.
And we last left off with August 9th, where we received no less than 9 separate emails from our protagonist, who, again, recently threatened us with legal action for cyberbullying him, the same individual who sends us after midnight emails.
Felony level.
Threatening us.
Felony level.
Felony level criminal threatening is one of the things that he's...
That's one of the things that we were told.
Yes.
Yes.
This next day, now we're on August 10th, he only sent us 4. He must have been exhausted from the previous day.
Maybe.
This series of emails, which will begin with this episode, this time he left out the group, but he is including the other former roommate,
Napoleon Bonaparte.
because he's trying to get back on in his good graces, even though
My mother's old douchebag
did basically destroy
Napoleon Bonaparte.
belongings by putting them out on the street or leaving them in the hallway. Yeah.
I mean, do you really think
Napoleon Bonaparte.
is dumb enough to friggin' fall for that shit?
I don't know. I mean, I would certainly hope not,
Well, you never know.
but who knows? I mean, apparently he did fall for some scam out in Colorado, but
That's true, too. But let's not go there.
that's present day stuff. Let's stay in the moment. August 10th.
No. I wish him no ill will. May things turn around for you or something like that.
Yeah.
Without Italian kneecap breakers that
My mother's old douchebag.
I really wanted to send on you.
That's right. Yes. So now we go to August 10th, and this. Oh, let me look at the time. This was sent at 1:36 a.m. on August 10th, and this one is titled "Funny. I was going to prove a point in sending that email to you." So I think he's referring to when he emailed his little friends there, who he's trying to look all big and tough in front of, and he included me in the. And I think, did he include you in those two, or did I end up forwarding those to you? I can't remember.
I can't remember, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's such a blur. I mean,
Yeah.
how the hell do you expect me to keep this shit straight?
But these with
I
these.
am an intelligent woman, but come on.
Yeah. But with these next emails, these are only going to myself and to the other former roommate.
So now we are on the August 9th?
No, we're on August 10th now.
August 10th.
August 10th at 1:30 in the morning.
I need you to direct me a little bit.
Yeah.
I was a little mixed up there.
Well, the timeline can get confusing. All right, here we go. Okay. Well, let me start with the, because the subject heading runs into the body of the email. Funny, I was trying to prove a point sending that email to you. One you proved quite effectively to me, since you attempted to remove me from the respondents. I had blind copied myself, as I had suspected that basically you had excluded me and
Napoleon Bonaparte.
at various times when communicating between us. The people you attempted to say that you feared for your lives with me, well, they know me very, very fucking well. And they know that the only way I ever get violent is when I am presented with violence. Every one of them came back to me, but I received your hidden response anyways, because I already knew that what you had done between me and
Napoleon Bonaparte.
I blind copied myself, so I would get your response back, despite your efforts to remove me from that email, thus proving my point of you being duplicitous and basically a fucking liar. As much as you wish to brag at how good of a liar you are, no one likes a liar. To most people, a liar is the worst thing in the world, in fact. If you seriously think that you can affect my reputation with my friends and clients, then good for you, asshole. That shows a shitload of misplaced confidence. These people already knew why I wanted you all gone. In the end, you did nothing but simplify the process for me. I didn't have to go through the eviction process. If you hadn't left when you did, then I was determined to find a way to get you to hit me, so I could guarantee your removal. When I asked about whether you were staying or going, I already knew the answer. I just wanted to see how far your lies would go. And the only reason why I didn't call the police about the missing AC and missing boots is because I figure those things were cheap in comparison to fighting to evict you. You made my life simple in that respect. Of course, only after you needlessly complicated it by bringing your lazy-ass codependent kid into the mix. Seriously, dude, 121 and he doesn't have a job and depends upon mom to take care of him? Really? That's codependent as fuck. You all even basically told me the same when you complained about his own father yelled at him for the same kind of stuff, and that pissed me off. I suspect that kid will be living with you until he is about 30. Unless he gets married first, and everything I ever saw from him suggested that he's basically homosexual. He has no women in his life at the age of 21, when every guy is horny as hell. No, he loves his mom too much to ever think of another woman, making him codependent. As far as you go, you basically sponge off your girlfriend's government benefits, making less than $100 per week from your eBay crap, making you, in my mind and many other men's minds, less than a man. And you admitted to me that your last real job, you made about $9 per hour working at a music store. In the end, you are a fucking loser. Like it or not, that's what you are. There you go.
Ew. Ew. Ew.
What part are you saying ew to?
This whole friggin' rhetoric bullshit about my kid.
Yeah.
Ew. He's like insinuating that he has some kind of like bizarre relationship with me. I mean, give me a friggin' break. I don't have a problem with my son. He happens to be heterosexual. I wouldn't care if he was homosexual, but you seem to really point that out a lot, and I think maybe you were wishing that he was.
Yeah, we've talked about that before. He probably
you're not his type. He likes actually he has a variety of tastes in women, because he has a tenacity toward smart women, strong women. I've seen him with a lot of different types, but you know. Yeah,
he keeps throwing that out, and you know, we've talked about that before. That we think maybe it was, it's sort of a sour grapes thing for
my mother's old douchebag
thing here. Yeah,
he wishes that deep down, he wishes that Jesse would have put his pee-pee in his pooper.
That's just gross. So can we not go there again? I mean, oh, jeez, you know.
He couldn't have me. He couldn't have your kid. Oh, poor guy. Poor guy just wasn't getting any dick.
Oh. There are sites for
He's
that,
gonna
aren't there?
be so mad. Oh, I don't care. I'm sorry.
My mother's old douchebag.
You couldn't get any dick when Jesse and I were there.
No, he couldn't even get any when he did his little threesome. He only got a blowjob from the guy. He didn't
Yeah.
get any dick. He just got
true.
a blowjob.
Well, so he told us.
So he told us.
He told us.
it could have been a fantasy. It could have been one of those hallucinations.
Yeah, I mentioned it before during one of our summits, the second one specifically. He's like, I've done everything except take it in the ass. It's like, good for you, dude. Thought I heard you gurgling. And there's another new completely made up thing in here too, where he says, you admitted to me that at your last real job you made about $9 an hour working at a music store. There is a grain of truth in that. I did work at a music store. I worked at a major music retail chain for many years. I did not make $9 an hour. I think in a separate email the last time, because he mentioned that once before too, that I told him that I worked minimum wage. There's two problems wrong with that. Number one, when I left there, I was a store manager. I was making a hell of a lot more than that. And number two, even if I was making $9 an hour, I wouldn't tell anybody. I would be too embarrassed. I wouldn't have volunteered that information. It's not true anyway, but even if it was, I wouldn't have told him. He just made that up out of whole cloth.
Well,
just a complete lie.
To fill in the blanks of what I assume is a cheese brain memory.
Yeah.
I should say Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what his memory's going to look like with that much alcohol. I mean, there's just got to be these big periods of time that are just like missing. So he's got to like fill in something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he pulls his shit out of his ass.
Yeah.
See,
yeah.
he wants something in his ass so bad that he just keeps pulling shit out of it.
That's right.
Yeah, there's help for that. Or there are sites for it too, if you want to go the other way.
Oh, certainly. Certainly.
Yeah.
Well, so we have, boy, I don't know. Should we just finish up on August 10th? Yeah,
I think we should finish up August 10th.
We'll finish out because we have
there's only a few more short ones, but definitely. So what time was the first one? Was it 1 o'clock?
We have three more, but they're all only one paragraph. So okay, so that one was at 1:36 a.m. So here's the next one. This was at 1:46 a.m. So 10 minutes later. You keep wanting to say I insulted the woman you love. But the truth is, I know you. I insulted your meal ticket, the woman who finances your fantasy life of being a media star. You people live in a fantasy world. Sorry if you don't like hearing that, but someone needs to tell you that since obviously no one in your family is willing to do so and save you the aggregations of learning the hard way, no one gives a fuck about your opinions. Stop living in a fantasy world. So that was a short one. I assume by aggregations he meant aggravations, but I also assume that
only assume.
he was full of alcohol. And then this next one comes at 2:29 a.m. So a whole 45 minutes later, we get an email. Again, we get an email from the gentleman who wants to sue us for cyberbullying at 2:30 in the morning. And just so you know, to most people in the world, begging forgiveness rather than asking for permission, which is obviously your modus operandi, such as hanging shit around the house without asking first, moving your son in without actually asking anyone, moving in a whole house of furniture and such without being completely honest, to most people, that shit is the exact same thing as lying. Not being honest is lying. So stop playing the martyr, for God's sake. You tried to see how far you could push shit and tried to play games against other people and eventually got caught in your game. Oh, what a tangled web kind of stuff. Stop pretending you are pure and innocent. I know, and many other people know exactly what you are. You yourselves once told me how easy it was to use Free Staters. You even called them useful fools. So good for you. You are good at exploiting other people. I suppose that's something you can take some pride in. Much like you bragged to me once how good a liar you are. Good for you for that. But at the end of the day, people despise liars above any other vice. And then one more, and this was at 3:01 a.m., so approximately 30 minutes later. Our final email for August 10th. And just so you know, my opinion of you never changed. It was always basically the same. I saw a guy who sponged off of his girlfriend's welfare benefits in order to live a fantasy life. And a 21-year-old son who has issues with striking out on his own and being a real adult. And runs back to mommy whenever anyone calls him out. He's a 12-year-old in a 21-year-old body. A spoiled fucking brat who has little chance of being successful at anything because at the end of the day, he doesn't have to be because mommy will always save him from himself. As far as Jen goes, I saw a woman who depended on welfare benefits who was a hypocrite about the benefits she received, calling them out as corrupt and run and non-useful while here benefits were what you all were living off. That makes her a fucking hypocrite. You can't have it both ways. You can't be collecting welfare and also be decrying the very same welfare that allows you to live. Doing that makes you a hypocrite. And I never said she didn't deserve those benefits either, by the way. But I know you people would call into question anyone else who received the same benefits. A long time ago, we had institutions for people who could not take care of themselves. Not just nut houses, but places where people with life-threatening illnesses could go and get treatment if they had no money. Over time, we decided that it was wrong to force people to disrupt their lives to get help. But we didn't come up with other solutions. So over time, our social service agencies developed to do the work to make things right for people. And yes, there is still more work to do on that front compared to what other countries already do. But you can't collect and bitch about those benefits at the same time, because those benefits are the only reasonable solution now. Doing so makes you a hypocrite. Well, again, he told us.
Yeah.
Collecting those imaginary welfare benefits you don't collect.
That's right. God.
Oh, boy.
You can't make this shit up, folks. You just can't.
Yeah.
Hence why the series continues.
Yes.
Yes.
So that was August 10th.
Yes.
I wonder too, does he forget that Jesse is in college? Like, he talks about Jesse like he's just a guy who just lays on the couch all day watching TV. Like, he's a full-time college student in his senior year of college.
And working.
Yes.
Full-time hours.
Yes,
While
absolutely.
he's in college.
Yes.
Imagine that. Wow.
That's right.
But we delve into the truth, so.
Oh, and two, I think the one thing, if I were to pick the one thing he probably repeats the most, well, maybe it's not the one thing, but it would be in the top 3 as far as themes that show up in these emails, is me allegedly bragging to him about how good a liar I was.
Yes.
And we've talked about it on the show before, but for those who are new to the show, who haven't heard the earlier episodes, one of the interesting things is to try to figure out where this stuff comes from that he makes up, because I'm not a good liar. I've always said I'd make a terrible poker player. I'm a pretty honest guy, and it's actually very hard for me to lie to people, and I have a conscience that doesn't let me get away with it easily. But I think I figured out where that comes from. Because I believe I remember actually kind of not bragging, but just telling him I was proud of the fact that I can say completely ridiculous and insane sounding things and not crack and keep a straight face. To the point where sometimes, even no matter how outrageous the thing I'm saying, I've had people who've known me for years who don't realize I'm kidding. You know?
Oh, I can see that.
Like, I could literally say,
I can see that.
I hope you don't think I'm weird or anything, but I have this fantasy about being lubed up with 2.5 jars of mayonnaise and having a unicorn fuck me in the ass for 2 hours. I can say that with a straight face. You just saw it. I just said it with a straight face. Didn't even crack a smile.
I can't even respond to it.
And that's not something the average person can do, is say something like that without even cracking a smile.
No, it would definitely take some work and some practice. And then, of course, if you notice, he makes an attempt to try and cause some kind of a rift, I think, between you and I by saying that you don't love me. I'm just your meal ticket.
Right. Yeah, I think there's a few instances of him trying to do that because, for example, that was my theory when he attributed you a bunch of things to you that you never actually said the day that you had your confrontation with him.
Right, and you were in the bathroom and he didn't realize you were in the bathroom.
And he claims that you said we were going to squat there and he'd have to force us out and all these things that you never said. And to this day, I wonder, did he hallucinate those things as he seems to do? Or was he intentionally saying those things to me, telling me that you said those things, knowing that you would deny them and trying to cause a rift that way?
It's entirely possible because every once in a while he says something that is obviously meant to get me upset with you.
Right.
Or concerned about you or something to that effect. And it's ridiculous because he really has no understanding of the dynamics, nor does he have any clue what you make.
Right.
You don't live off of me.
I think he wanted to split us up because I think he
wanted you.
He wanted me.
He wanted you all to himself. And, he'd try and talk to you and I'd always be in the bed. So, it would just be an issue, I guess.
He wanted me to lube him up with a jar and a half of mayonnaise and be his unicorn right in the pooper.
The one thing he hadn't gotten to do yet.
Notice I say that with a straight face.
Yes, you did.
Well, partly because I actually do believe there's truth in that. I think he did. I think he wanted me.
Yep.
I think he probably saw me coming out of the shower one day and saw all my body hair and was like, he's actually kind of a bear after all.
Aww.
Maybe one of these nights he'll come into my room and bend me over.
No. Because he doesn't know where you live, thankfully.
No, I mean, I think that's what he thought then.
Oh, what he was thinking then?
Yeah.
Oh, this just gets worse.
Well, we'll conclude episode 34 with that.
Yes.
We have, and let's see. I love the cliffhangers. So let me just see.
What will tomorrow?
Oh, there's more from August 10th.
Oh.
But now, when we get to August 10th, someone else enters it's I didn't see this because it's on a different thread, but somebody else enters the conversation.
Yes, so tune in tomorrow to find out, or maybe to find out more. We'll see how far we can get tomorrow. You may have to wait till Monday.
So a little Thursday cliffhanger for you.
It's always on a Thursday.
Yeah, so with that, remember, if you happen to be listening to this and you're actually, in fact, are the new roommate of our protagonist, I would just say to you, again, we are not religious folks, but may God help you and keep you safe.
Good night.
Good night.
My mother's old douchebag.
IPMNation.com